Hi everyone, and welcome to Dialed In, coming to you live from the CNET stage at CES 2014. We are going to run down all the smartphone news and trends for you at this show. I'm Jessica Dulcourt, joined by Brian Bennett, Lynn Law, and Kent German, your CNET mobile experts. Well, this was a very interesting show for a lot of reasons. First of all of the big names in smartphones pretty much took a hiatus this year. We didn't see Samsung, we didn't see HTC, Motorola, Nokia, not much from LG either, but there were still phones. So Lynn, you've got one here. Why don't you tell us about what you saw?
I have the LG G Flex. Fortunately, we were able to see this before CES 2014, but they really emphasized it here along with like their 4K TVs.
So this phone is on sale right now worldwide,
yeah,
correct?
it's available. It's going to be on AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile. That's what the news that they announced this year. So I'm really looking forward to that.
So the most interesting thing about this phone, of course, is that it's got a curved screen, and you got a chance to actually review the phone. Do you think that this is an exciting or interesting phone for the U.S. market? What do we feel about having it on 3 carriers?
It's definitely an interesting form factor. I mean, Samsung also has something similar to it, except it curves the other way, and this one's it curves and it's flexible. But the fact that it's coming on 3 carriers, I was really surprised about that, and it's like something that's very exciting for, especially for AT&T, who announced their phones this year.
So it sounds like LG is really committed into making the curved phone and maybe even a little bit of a flexible phone. Can you give us a little demo there?
I don't. Like right here, if you could press it
down.
down.
You press down. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I was afraid of it the first time I did it, but now I could really.
It does make you a little nervous. You're suddenly.
Yeah.
It accepts something like 90 pounds of pressure, is that right?
Yeah, I think around that, like 88 pounds of pressure could withstand that much. So
wow.
Yeah.
So you theoretically could sit on it and it not crack, right? That's the idea. It's in your pocket.
Kent, will you give us another little demo right there?
Oh, sure. See, put it down like this.
Oh, that
I know. You just have this urge not to do it. You think it's going to be bad. And then,
but it works.
Maybe with the scratching on the back.
Oh yeah, it has like a self-healing coating that that they say that is featured in like cars too for like their paint jobs, and you could scratch. It's for usually daily wear and tear and stuff like that. So it's not really used like if you have like an X-Acto knife, it's definitely going to cut. But you know, if you throw it in your purse, if you just throw it on the table, it definitely will not accumulate the kind of general scratches that we normally see.
So if you have it with keys in your pocket, then
I think the nice thing about it too is, you know, the curve isn't just a gimmick, because it does help with the viewing angle of the watching any movies or video on the screen.
We saw a lot of this with TVs too. So curving is definitely going to be something we see in the year.
Can you set it on the side?
Oh yeah, you can sit it on the side. It's like it has like a really.
It kind of like bends the reflections away from what you're looking at too, right? It improves the visibility that way as well.
And Lynn, we've got no pricing or availability on this yet, right? The carriers themselves are going to announce all of that information. Yeah. Brian, you've got a phone right here too.
That's right. So if I can dive right in, essentially this is the, I don't know if you guys can see, this is the Xperia Z1S, and this is basically the US version of the Xperia Z1 that was shipped globally, but now it's on T-Mobile, and it has basically all the flagship components that you expect. Has fast processor, huge screen, and as a matter of fact,
is that about 5 inches?
It's 5-inch full HD, and the camera's 20 megapixel. It is also water resistant and dust resistant, so you can drop it in, you know, up to 3 feet of water for 30 minutes, I believe, and you're fine. It has, you know, watertight. I don't know if you can see this here, but it has watertight seals around each of the ports, similar to a lot of the Xperia phones.
And it looks pretty high-end too. Like the build quality on this looks nice.
Yeah, it definitely looks nice. It's very shiny. It's very sleek, very thin. So you can see here the little flap here covering one of the ports. I think it comes with a lot of memory. Has a pretty nice camera. So this is a really good attempt by Sony to get back into the smartphone game, which is
I gotta say
really great.
That waterproof thing is something I still can't get used to, though. The idea of like, oh, I can dunk it in water. I mean, you even put it in the sink and turned it on and just ran into the bottom of the sink.
But because most people aren't really going to dunk it in water, it's more like you don't have to freak out if you accidentally spill something on it.
I think a lot of people do.
Just go for a dive in the pool.
All right. Well, actually, cell phones have ruined throwing people in the pool at pool parties.
Yeah,
they really have.
That is
you
true.
Just can't do it
so
anymore.
you can't do it
I
anymore.
demand that we change this.
Before it was just your wallet, your keys. Now it's like your phone is going to be ruined.
Actually, there is a company here that has kind of a cool thing. They say that we're doing things backwards with the whole seals. Instead of worrying about the rubber gaskets and things like that, what you should be doing is waterproofing the internals. So they've worked on a coating to do that.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of people who do that after the market. You know, you can give them your phone and they will like pump it full of some sort of nano coating, which will
Exactly.
lock it all down and make sure that there's no water damage at all.
So pool parties, safe again for pranks.
Okay, that's good to know.
So T-Mobile has this phone. AT&T also announced that it was going to carry a phone that's been previously released globally. This is a trend, right? Global
Yeah.
first, and then at CES announced that.
Yeah, it's
And
like
Lynn,
boy bands.
You took a look at that one, right?
Yeah, so in addition to the G Flex, AT&T is going announced the Asus PadFone X. It was basically a smartphone that you could plug into the rear side of a tablet, and the tablet is powered by the processor from the smartphone. And we took a look at it. Me and Luke Westaway from CNET UK took a look at it, and it's basically a really, really nifty device. We couldn't touch it as per AT&T's request. But, and there's a mini version that's coming out. There's no availability.
Is that
of
also
that
going to
yet.
be AT&T, or is that a global announcement?
For the mini version?
Yeah.
No, it's global. There's no U.S. availability information that they gave us at that point. But the mini comes in a lot of colors. It has like this really cool soft touch sheen material that we really liked, and I believe it's a 4-inch smartphone into a 7-inch tablet.
Versus a 5-inch
Wow.
smartphone into a 9-inch tablet.
And
So.
the others, the other pad phones, you had to kind of put it in and the little door closed. It looks like this one just slides in the back. Is that
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yes.
not that smooth, but like you kind of, you shove it in, it connects, and then it powers up the tablet. The tablet has its own battery source, and you can use the tablet to power the smartphone, but it doesn't have, its processor. And use
But
it
you
that
couldn't
way.
touch it.
And I couldn't touch it. We wanted to just
I'm not a
put
fan
a
of
finger
that.
on it. Yeah.
Companies bring these things to the show, and you're just
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to stare
Yeah.
at it.
What
like
are you
this
supposed
and-
to do? Just stand there? I bet you could have snuck a little.
We wanted to just lick it and just put our finger on it, but we know we can't do that because then they'll never
Or put a
invite us back.
post-it. Lin La was here.
Yeah, they
All right.
removed the glass for us though, so we.
Oh,
so-
wow.
Wow, that's
So,
very nice of them.
What's really exciting to me about this announcement is that we've seen these before. Kent, you and I have seen them at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and this phone has never come to the US market, and it's really cool. Lynn and I also took a look at the Asus PadFone Infinity earlier this year, and we had it in the office and we were playing with it, and it is so cool, and it is such a great idea for people who are interested in a tablet but kind of want to cut costs a little bit, because sometimes you use your phone when you're out and about, and then you use the tablet when you're at home because you want to play a game or just have a larger screen or share it with somebody. This is like the zip-off backpack from the backpacking backpack.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like an
yeah.
obscure example, or like zip-off pants or something, the
Well,
pants that become shorts.
This whole modular.
You're bringing all these 90s references back. I don't know
What
if
can
we
I
do
say? I'm a
that.
90s girl.
Well, all this modular, smartphone design seems to be a real trend. You've got Motorola with their Aura project. You've got ZTE.
Yeah, ZTE they showcased it here. It's their Eco Mobius modular phone concept design
Is
that
it
came out of
cool?
there. It's cool. I mean,
Is it gonna work?
They just displayed it. We weren't able to take a real good look at it. It's just a concept design. It came out of their R&D program, and there's just something that it's exciting that another manufacturer is also working on a modular phone concept.
It's pretty cool. So you basically just build your phone like a stack of Legos or something.
Yeah.
As long as you don't drop it and it all falls apart into all these little pieces.
I want Lego to make a phone. Like a build your own phone
They
case.
made a Simpsons house this week, so they can probably make a phone.
I think so. I mean, it's really, how hard is it to make a phone, really? I took a look, along with Eric Franklin, at the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro. This is a 12.2-inch tablet. Now, why are we talking about tablets here when we're talking
Wow.
about smartphones? It's because it's really important to keep an eye on the Samsung tablet space, because what happens on the Note tablets usually winds up in some form or another on the Note smartphone. So what was interesting about this is that Samsung's really making a push to go pro, especially with tablets. They want their tablets to replace your desktop. But what it means is there might be a trickle-down effect with the new magazine interface design. It's basically just redesigned with widgets and things like that really aims to put a lot of productivity front and center. And Samsung, this massive juggernaut, has also come up with a lot of partnerships with content providers. So we can see that maybe coming down to the next version of the Note smartphone, where it comes preloaded with all of this stuff, and with Samsung really trying to make a play for offering you a corporate productivity experience on the smartphone.
So it runs on Android, but then the magazine UX just sits over that. So it's
Yeah,
similar to TouchWiz in
Right.
the way that it works, but different in design.
It looks different, and that's really
Windows
salient
Phone
to
to me a little
tablets
bit.
right now. But it's sort of like, keep an eye on this because you might see it appearing later
it
down
almost
the line.
sounds like Microsoft and Samsung are going to go head to head in the enterprise sort of production and pro tablet kind of surface.
Well, Samsung wants to rule the world,
Yes,
so they'll take on
exactly.
anyone. Google, Apple, Microsoft, you're down, right?
That's right. Watch out.
So we saw a lot of themes here at the show that don't relate directly to smartphones, but they build off of them. And one of those is wearables. And Brian, you took a look at a boatload of wearables this
Yeah,
time.
definitely. There are a ton of wearable products here. Seemed like the major theme of the show. We saw the new Pebble Steel, which is a brand new watch from the people who innovated the entire whole segment of the category. It's very nice. It looks beautiful. It's expensive. It's $249, but it looks like a real analog watch that does not look like a smartwatch at all until this little OLED strip on the bottom starts to roll and with like a ticker tape style of smartphone notifications. So you see text, you see social media, meetings, all the stuff you want to see at a glance. And it also does this crazy thing where it actually will buzz with haptic feedback the way you want it to. So when you get an alert, you can have it like a little like mini Morse code kind of thing to say like dot 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 dot, like long or short and long or long short. I mean, it's crazy. All this stuff happening on your wrist and no one will know.
Does it actually talk to you like a Martian?
No,
Maybe
it
Marvin
doesn't.
the
No,
Martian?
it doesn't. Though the big joke is they should have come up with a watch named the Martian Chronicle. That would be great.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that. But no, it's a really interesting product. It's a very low price. It's like, I think it's a $129. It's the expected price.
That is
so
actually
it's really nice.
remarkably low, especially when you compare it to something like the Samsung Galaxy Gear that only works with
Oh yeah.
the Samsung phones, and not even all of them yet, right?
That's true. That's true.
So, so this connects to your phone via Bluetooth, and it
Yes.
gets all of your contacts and notifications through your phone that way.
Yeah, they basically have two versions of the same app, one for Android, one for iOS, and you configure all of your notifications directly there, and it all gets pushed to your phone. As a matter of fact, what's really cool is it will support apps that aren't even out yet, because as long as you get a notification and any sort of app you install gets sent to the notification area on your phone, it will self-populate and basically now send those alerts to your watch, if you want to or not. So, whatever software's out there, it'll figure it out.
So,
Which means you're always like checking at your watch to look at text in your phone. So
What
if you're
about
out to dinner and someone's going
no,
like
because
this?
it's got the Morse code.
No. Yeah, you just keep it on
you
the
don't
side.
even have to look at it. It reads it out to you that
feel
way,
it,
right?
And then
You
if you
just
get the
glance
emergency
down.
alert, then you have to check your watch.
Have you seen any smartphones at this show that actually is built for like a woman's wrist? Because I'm waiting for that.
Oh, the smartwatches?
The smartwatches? No,
Smartwatch.
and that's a huge hole in this thing, because I have yet to see one smartwatch that is targeted at
Or
a
a
woman,
dainty man.
Yes.
Well,
Just
you know-
anyone
So men
who,
have small
or just
wrists?
anyone who has a small wrist.
It's
mean-
true. It's true. I put on the Galaxy Gear, and they had this pretty
it's
rose
massive,
color, and I
yeah.
like that. But it was so uncomfortable just fitting over my bone. I didn't think it was really designed for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, it does look, that device looks sleek and it's interesting, but it's so futuristic looking. You definitely look like you're kind of like the cyborg from the future kind of guy, or woman. It's definitely, people will look at you if you have it on your wrist, and that's not what you want. You want a watch, I think, that just looks like a watch and has an elegant, kind of sophisticated style.
Yeah.
That people won't even know that it's giving you all these.
You don't want
alerts.
to look like one of those calculator watches, with all the buttons on it that were so big and clunky.
But those are
Or that
actually pretty
Kickstarter
cool. Those
project
have
where you
actually
just
come back.
actually strap your phone to your wrist.
Oh yeah.
So with smartwatches, I mean, do you think that this year, last year was sort of everyone getting started. This year we've had a lot of version 2.0s, but it's not really gained a lot of traction. Are we going to start seeing this actually getting picked up? I mean, is pricing really important, or is it just the technology?
Well, pricing is getting there. It's getting lower. But I also think that the technology is starting, especially with Bluetooth 4.0, getting into a lot of phones now, and the Bluetooth
Low
it's like
energy.
low energy. That, and it natively will support a lot of these push notifications on Android, and iOS already has it. So you've got a lot of now the ecosystem's kind of building, and it's building momentum, and it's a lot easier to actually create products and software. So, and everyone has one of these, and it seems like, and you don't want to be checking it 200 times a day. It drives you crazy.
Right.
It drives people that you go out to eat to dinner with, right? You're sitting there across the table, and you're like,
Pay attention to me.
Okay, well, you will definitely pay attention to me if I showed up to dinner wearing my smart glasses, because I tried on 4 of these, and Scott Stein tried on one, and these are all Google Glass-alikes, I'm going to call them.
Glass-alikes.
They're
I like
rivals. One of them was specifically for camera use, like you put it on, you could slip these mods on the end to extend battery life or do cool things, and then developers can create an app, and you can press the button, maybe look around, and it takes a panorama and uploads it. A lot of these are Kickstarter or Indiegogo projects. There's one that actually looks kind of like glasses. It looks like a cycling helmet. There's one I tried on that was just like absolutely insane. It looked, I mean, it has this like pivot wheel. It just looked like it was taking over my entire
that is the
face.
pivot, right? Is that the pivot?
It's called the Aura SAR eyewear, and it is
Catchy.
a tongue twister.
Rolls off the tongue.
And I'm looking at myself in these, and it's like, you know, it's just like high school all over again with my big old glasses on my face. You will definitely get noticed wearing these, and I've seen a lot of Google Glass around the show as well, like a ton of it. And I think that right now, smart glasses are probably where smartwatches were 2 years ago, right? They are not a practical solution yet. They are all just pure development, and they do rely on your phone quite a lot. And I know there are some smart contact lenses that Nick Stat from News looked at.
Really?
Wow.
That's
very
amazing.
Bored, like, you know, I just think I'm going to be assimilated if I put one of those things in my eyes. I don't know.
So there's definitely a lot of next wave tech coming on. Brian, you took a look at iris scanning. What's that going to mean for smartphones?
Yeah, it seems like you know, wearable tech and biometrics. You know, these devices that pay attention to your body. It's a huge thing, and this company called iLock, they actually announced, or they're showing a demo of basically a device that would scan your iris and know who you are based on your individual patterns, and it works like lightning fast. It's actually really quick, and it's no stretch of the imagination to see it actually going into smartphones. As a matter of fact, yesterday there was some buzz that perhaps the Samsung Galaxy S5 may have some iris scanning technology built into it.
Is that going to use the camera for optics?
Yeah, because what I believe how this whole thing works is it uses the front-facing camera, or you know, on your laptop, and it will basically shoot IR, like infrared beams into your eyes, and record the, you know, the little patterns in the colored part of your eye, the iris, and matches that against a database that lives up there. You know, though of course it's all, I think it's all local, so you don't have to worry about your fingerprint or your eye print or your iris ID, you know, kind of living in the cloud somewhere. It's all like local, but it's supposed to be really, you know, tight security and really fast, and it's very futuristic.
Yeah, I mean, we have Face Unlock, but that doesn't quite work the same way, does it?
Oh,
I mean,
that was
Kent, you've
terrible.
tried Face Unlock, Lynn, you've tried it.
Yeah, but the thing is you can use a photo. Like if you
Yeah.
Face Unlock, if you, I guess, you know, if you had someone that kind of looks like you could unlock your phone. I mean, this is a unique thing that, you know, that somebody's iris is definitely unique to them, like their fingerprint, not so much a face in some ways. But so it's a little bit different.
There are companies that are also working on voice unlock as well, right? So they pattern your voice. They call it the voice matrix. And then you have like an unlock passphrase that only you would say, like the quick brown fox, or I hate passwords, or something like that. That's a little bit longer, and that's supposed to unlock your phone. So another thing that I took a look at that may also be on the Samsung Galaxy S5, I'm guessing, this is totally unconfirmed, is a new kind of gesture. So basically, you know, a lot of these smartphones have gesture technology in it, and they use...
Yeah, that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, they use
but-
optics through the camera, or some other devices use infrared, and this one uses ultrasound. Okay,
Ultrasound.
yeah, ultrasound. So it uses normal microphones, but then these ultrasound speakers. So when you turn it on, it sends out these sound waves that you can't hear, and you'll basically wipe your hand over the phone doing any number of elaborate or simple gestures, and it will bounce back. Now what's cool about ultrasound is that the space isn't limited because you don't have something that's looking at you. It's setting out these sound waves, so you can use a wider field, I guess, of space, and you can use more elaborate controls, like moving your hand in a circle could turn up the volume or turn down the volume,
So
or
it's like
something
a
else.
three-dimensional.
Yeah.
You know, you can make like different things with your fingers or whatever, some kind of strange shape, and it
That's
would.
pretty cool.
I don't
You
know
know,
what this means,
was
but it
that
means
the-
something,
I
right?
think this
Just means
I
unlock
think
the
this is
phone.
amazing.
Please unlock.
I just think like this is amazing. I mean, I just love the way in that video how you're just, you know, moving your hand. So many of these phones, it's so particular. You have to be so close. You have to do a very certain thing. I mean, you're just going like this. You're up to the side of the phone.
Yeah.
And it's working,
above,
so I think
below.
this is really interesting
The
technology.
only problem with that is that when I was shooting the video, there were a lot of false positives and negatives.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of false whatevers because I gesticulate a lot. So it's up to the device makers to actually constrain that and define what it means to do these things. But the app makers can also start integrating that into the apps when that happens. And we have been assured that that is going to start showing up in tablets and smartphones in 2014. So I think the big theme of this phone show, of this show here, at least, is that we're going to see a lot more from phones in the future in this year. It was quiet here, but we've got Mobile World Congress coming up at the end of February into early March.
Yeah.
The three of us are going to that.
The quieter
Can't-
CES is
can't
for
believe
mobile.
on it.
The bigger MWC
Yeah,
is
for
going
those
to
of you who don't know,
be.
that's a big show in Barcelona, Spain every year, and it's been growing in importance every year since we've been going, since 2008, and it's really where cell phone and smartphone news really happens now. It's kind of taken over this show in that way. I mean, the smartphones still are here, but we'll see new smartphones there more than we did here.
That's really evidenced by the fact that Samsung didn't have a presence.
Yeah.
Nokia getting bought out by Microsoft, we'll know more about that by then. There should be a phone either from Nokia or a new Windows phone, whatever that's going to be branded as. I'm expecting that we're going to see that there.
And of course, CNET will have great coverage of Mobile Congress, so the last week of February, soon to turn in to us, and we'll bring you all the news. These guys will, because they will be there.
And you will
That's
be there
right.
in spirit.
I will be building slideshows back at CNET.
Exactly. So again, thank you so much for joining us. You can find out all of the coverage about every product we talked about and every product that CNET covered as a whole at ces.cnet.com.